wind was starting to pick up in the Florida Keys, and we really didn't want to stay in Key West in an exposed anchorage. So we pulled up the hook and headed to Marathon. It was about a 7-hour trip, and while we briefly tried to sail, the wind was right on the nose, so we ended up motoring into the wind the whole way.
We are in the western anchorage just outside of Boot Key Harbor. We were interested in going into the harbor where the mooring field is and all the action is, but we drove around it for 45 minutes, and not only do they not have a mooring for a 50-foot boat, there is not a hole to be found amongst the anchored boats to tuck in. That's a maybe hole right there. Not a great hole, but a maybe hole. I feel like we're pretty good at finding a little space anywhere we go. I think this is the first time we've been sort of turned away from a place, but I could not find a single spot that seemed like we could safely anchor without either running aground or swinging into the channel. So we came outside, and it's just for a night. We're going to go into a marina for the next few days while the weather comes in and we do some boat projects.
Spot secured. It was time to get off the boat, get some dinner, and see what Marathon was all about. The first night we found the Dockside Bar and Grill, which ended up being a place that we would frequent often in our week in Marathon. It had cheap food, cheap drinks, live music, and very nice people. Beautiful morning, not too bad of a night out at anchor. We're gonna go into the marina today, get a slip, fuel up, do some laundry, take some showers, and then sort of see what Marathon, the town, is all about. We left our anchorage and moved over to the dock, where first order of business was giving Paradox a much needed bath. Once we discovered that our marina had poolside access, we spent most of our time playing in the pool. What are you doing?
Removing this noisy piece of... The guy in the anchorage here says he could use it at his house where the noise won't bother him. So yeah, he's gonna come by, and I had said by way of idiom, I'll sell it for somewhere north of a case of beer, and he took that quite literally, so I think he's just gonna bring me 2 cases of beer. But whatever, at least it's off the boat, or will be off the boat.
1 wind generator lighter and 2 cases of beer richer, it was time to get ready to start our cruising adventure in earnest and get ready to go to the Bahamas. That meant stocking up the boat with food while we still could, and ensuring that we had all of the appropriate paperwork in order. are walking to the urgent care clinic. Maddie needs a COVID test. Well, we all need a COVID test to get to the Bahamas, but the urgent care clinic is the only one that will do it on somebody as young as her. So we are walking there now. Foiled. This place does not do walk-ins. Central, who Will called CHI Central, they were wrong. So now we walk back to the boat and try to figure it out a little bit later. Okay, let's try this again. Take 2. Our dock neighbors were smart. They rented a car. So now we're driving to the correct urgent care clinic to get Maddie a COVID test, and then we're gonna go to Walgreens to hopefully do a drive-through and get a rapid PCR test that, in theory, the Bahamas will accept.
Yeah, so the December 2021 process for getting into the Bahamas regarding COVID was that it was actually really pretty straightforward. It was not an onerous task at all. You fill in this online form to get a health visa via the Bahamas government, and it's a pretty slick website. The rules are explained well. You enter all your information, and then at the time, it was within 5 days of going to the Bahamas, you had to get either a PCR test or a rapid antigen test. So we were able to do that. For Kat and I, we were able to get them at Walgreens for free. For Maddie, since she was just turning 2, she was too young to get them at Walgreens, so we had to go to a clinic and pay $100 for hers. But yeah, uploaded the results as soon as we got them, and within 24 hours we had approval from the Bahamas, and at that point that was it. It's just a matter of showing up and checking in pretty much like you normally would, just with a mask. So yeah, good on the Bahamas for making it pretty easy.
Our last night in Marathon, out at anchor, and tomorrow we'll do an overnight crossing to Bimini. Feels nice actually to get off the dock and to be back on the boat. A little rocky, but we're doing okay. In the next episode, we make it to Bimini and enjoy the start of what we think is going to be a picture-perfect first day in the Bahamas.
I forgot the water could be this clear. It's like barely even any sun and you can see the bottom.
The reality turns out to be exactly the opposite. Current status, we are run aground.
Wow. I told you guys don't go that way, man, but I hope so.
You sure did.